Hey guys, Kay here with Burn1. I decided to try something out new. Hopefully you guys like this and let me know if you would like to see more of this, especially when newer sets come out and things like that. Or even if you want me to get into some Japanese sets, I'm probably willing to do this as long as there's an audience for it. So basically this is going to be a quick breakdown of the new set. I figured I'd try this out on the English Sword Art online extra booster that came out recently. It's a small set, so I'll only talk about some few important cards that you should watch out for, and like kind of have a breakdown of cards to watch out. I guess watch out for, like end up using in your deck or whatever, and maybe like talk about some weird situations or weird ways you can use the card. Anyway, let's get into it. Hopefully this is something you guys will enjoy. If not, sorry. So first off, we have this Gathering Materials Lifa. This is, I believe, a newer effect in English, but this has kind of been around for a little while in Japanese. It's a 2/1 2500 backup. It's an understated backup because it has a ability which is, I think, one of the best abilities to have on a backup. It's whenever you use this card as a backup, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an avatar or net character, you put that card into your hand, then pick a card in your hand and put it into the waiting room. What's great about this is if you're getting close to death, you can use this to essentially give your opponent +1 soul. And if you reveal a climax, you're like, who cares, because you're going to cancel anyway. And it also helps for hand fixing later on and things like that. If you have one too many climaxes in your hand, it helps you ditch it towards the end when you're about to refresh. You should probably see like at least one copy in almost every SAO deck. Doesn't matter what they're playing, unless for some reason they're doing some kind of mono character build that does not include Lifa. But yeah, this is probably the best backup revealed in the new set. There's another 1/1 backup that lets you mill 3, but it's to me like not as good, especially if you're very good at controlling quantity of cards in your deck and things like that. It's not a bad card though. But anyway, this card probably best backup in the new set. Next, we have this Gathering Materials Silica. This is a level 0 reverser, or suicider, as a lot of people also know it as. This card's amazing because when it comes into play, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's avatar or net character, you can add it to your hand and ditch your card. This lets you have a ditch mechanic, mill your deck faster to get your first refresh off sooner, and things like that. Also, whenever you reveal a climax or anything like that, you can just brainstorm and know you're going to plus off of it. I love this card. I love hand fixing and like milling deck and doing really weird things like that. The Suicider should be in basically every build, in my opinion. There's no reason for it not to be. I guess if people are still running the 1/0 Marker Asuna, they would probably want the other or the first set Suicider. But yeah, this is one of the best Suiciders in the set. Next, we have Idle Self Chignon. This card is whenever it comes into play, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into clock, and then search your deck for a level 2 or higher character, and then add it to your hand. This card in general is pretty whatever. Usually you want this effect to search for level 1s or lower, so you can like set up your level 1 game. But this is still pretty relevant for Sword Art, so in situations where you get hit to 0.5 and you clock and then you're at 0.6, you can use this to get yourself to 1/0, so you can immediately play your level 1s that turn. Also, hand advantage for the most part. You don't really mind giving up 1 damage early on to get an extra card to your hand, even if it doesn't become relevant till later. Right now I've been using these to like search out level 2 supports and changes and things like that, or even mill my deck more for the most part. Great card. I don't think you'll see it in every deck, but it's a very good tech card to have, especially if you're have a lot of really cool level 2 shenanigans you're trying to do. Next, we have this new Brainstormer and /support. So during your opponent's turn, the character in the middle slot of the center stage gains 1000 power. 1000 power boost on opponent's turn is pretty big. It helps out your middle slot. Sometimes it makes it too hard for your opponent to kill, which is great. Does not affect you during your own turn, but doesn't really matter that much sometimes. Next, you have a spammable Brainstorm, which is like one of the better spammable Brainstorms in the game, which lets you reveal top 4 cards of your deck. If for every climax you hit, you search for avatar or net character. Then you add those to hands, then discard the same number of climaxes you revealed from your hand, or same number of cards you searched basically. One thing to note about this card is if you, like, for example, reveal 4 climaxes, can only search 1 card out of your deck, you still have to discard 4 because of the way the card is worded. Since it has X, you must do all the things where X is replaced by the number of climaxes revealed, even if you don't search that many out of your deck. Because, say, for example, you look at your deck and all you have left is climaxes or, like, events for some reason, you still have to discard that number. Hopefully you won't make the mistake of milling when you have a really high chance of whiffing on searching, because then you end up just minusing cards from your hand for no reason. It's something to watch out for, but it's still a really good card in the new set. Next, we have this level 0 runner for the most part, and it's a really good card. First off, if you have a Chignon centric build, this card does buff Chignon characters with Chignon in the name for 1,000 power when it attacks. So it helps out your level 1-3 game and stuff like that if you're running Chignon. The next effect is at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can mill the top card of your deck to the waiting room, and if it's avatar net, you can move this card to open position on the front row. What's great about this is, if you mill climax, you don't really care because at level 0, you just want to get to level 1 and not get screwed where you cancel 4 times at 0 and then your opponent's just a little bit ahead of you and hits level 1 and just smothers you with level 1s that they can't kill and gets so much advantage off of that, which sucks. Another thing too is if you do mill a character, it's great because you +1 card, even if you do end up canceling because of it. At least you got one more attacker and things like that for the next turn, and plussing cards early helps your level 1 transition and stuff like that. Really great card, should be in almost every deck, at minimum probably a 3 of. Finally, we have this level 1 Chignon, Temporary Alliance Chignon. She's probably the best level 1 in Sword Art right now that's costless in my opinion. So basically it's a 4K, has 4K power, but for every other net or avatar character it gains 500 power. So if you have a full field, not counting supports, it's a 106K, and it has Clock Encore, which is take the top card of your deck and put it to clock. Whenever this goes to waiting room, you can do that and bring it back arrested. Helps you build hand advantage at level 1, since you're just trading damage for an extra card every time it dies. It's overstatted 1-0 for the most part, and it can get really big and really annoying for your opponent unless they have a way to bottom deck it or top deck it or something. This is a great card. It's probably one of the best cards, probably top 3 or 4 cards in the new set. Next we have this level 3 Chignon, which is the main reason you'll be playing any kind of Chignon build for the most part, any Sword Art build currently in my opinion, is you want this level 3 Chignon. Last Shot Chignon. Whenever this card comes from your hand or through change to the field, you can heal 1 from your clock, or put the top card from your clock and put it in waiting room. The secondary ability is the reason you run it. It has a climax combo with Book. It's when this card attacks, you can pay 2 and put a card from your hand to waiting room, and then your opponent takes 4 damage, and if that damage is cancelled, this card gains 3,500 power until end of your opponent's turn. So it's really tough for your opponent to deal with on their own turn, since it gets so big if they cancel. If not, they just took 4 damage, which is great, and then you still get an attack after that, usually for 3 because you have the climax. And then the last ability is when this card becomes reversed in battle, you put it to memory, because it'd be pretty silly if you can forever cycle this over and over again if it dies. But yeah, main reason I'm even playing Sword Art right now in English for English tournaments is because this level 3 Chignon exists. Next is Basic Knowledge of Guns Chignon. This is a new level 0 beater. It's pretty good because it gains 1,000 power in Encore. So if you run a very small amount of level 0s in your deck, it's one of the ways you can consistently have a level 0 to attack with and stuff, because it has Encore. What's really great about this too is it lets you have a back row, so it can be 4K with hand Encore and stuff like that if you have support at level 0 for it. But it does have to be alone on the front row, so it could be a problem sometimes, especially in English. It seems like a lot of people like to just drop 3 characters and swing at level 0, which I think is the worst thing you can do in this game for the most part. Anyway, and the last card to talk about is this 1-0 Kirito, Choices to Fight Kirito. This card for the most part is pretty mediocre, but one thing to note about it is even the reason I have it up in here is when you play this card from your hand to the stage, if you have 4 other characters, it counts itself also for the X power, It's basically when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, this card gains plus X power until end of turn, where X is equals to 500 times the number of avatar net characters you have. So if you play this card last and you have a full field, it's a 1075 for 1 turn. It's 500 more power than normal for these types of cards, so that's like one important thing to note. But you also have to be careful of when you play it, since it gets less power when you play it early, since it only counts when you played it. So if you play it first with like 1 card on field, it becomes a 1055. The card is still really good, just because no matter any circumstance, it's going to be vanilla at worst. But you know, you usually expect to lose this card the very next turn, or when your opponent attacks you, because it's so weak. Anyway, yeah, that basically covers the new Sword Art Online Extra Booster and cards that we'll look out for, or maybe build around or something like that. But yeah, right now I think this level 3 Chignon's like the best level 3 game Sword Art Online has right now. If you guys enjoyed this, just make sure to comment, like, or anything, and let me know that you did enjoy this. Or maybe ask if you want to ask for other sets, even Japanese or English. Just make sure to comment and stuff. If it gets like a lot of likes or something, or a lot of people ask for the same set, I will try to do another video like this on the next set, or whatever you guys want to talk about, like some of the important cards of the new sets and things like that. I also was thinking of maybe I should do some kind of like deck breakdown for sets like this, or I'm not exactly sure how to word it, but like some kind of breakdown of like a quick guide to get into each set or whatever. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to do that or how I would do it, but it's been an interesting idea I've been thinking about lately too. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and all that, and check out our Facebook page now that I am running. It should be facebook.com/burn1blog. Be posting all blog posts there, videos, and like maybe giveaways and things like that, and like just be able to talk through there with me or whatever you want. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure, if you did enjoy this and you want to see more things like this, to comment and just whatever. Just make sure to get it out there that you do. Make sure to let it be known that you like it and stuff. So as long as I know there's an audience, I'll keep doing this type of video. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this helps you get into the new Sword Art Online Extra Booster, or like get familiarize yourself with it, especially if you're in the English in the English market and things like that. Anyway, later, guys. See ya.